Okay. Enough of that. What's up? Welcome
What
to
up?
another chill stream. Apologies for yesterday. Obviously had a bunch of stuff going on.
Real life gets in the way.
Yeah, unfortunately. I do appreciate everybody that was giving out prayers for my pops. So just a quick update on that. He's doing better. He's okay. They are keeping it from observation. They wanted to double check. Basically, what happened is he's been under the weather for the last couple of days. We originally thought it was allergies, and but it just wasn't getting better, and it was causing everything else to go haywire. And he was taking medication for his GAD attacks and everything. So took him to the doctor, and they were really concerned because his blood pressure was really low and his kidney functions were elevated. So they're keeping it for observation. They're trying to figure out what's causing that, so that they're pretty sure that it's one of the medications he's taken for his gouty arthritis, and they're just going to figure out what it is and take him off that so his blood pressure comes back up. So other than that, he's fine.
Yep.
But when someone who doesn't like going to the doctor tells you to take him to the doctor, you get concerned. So, but he'll be okay. What's new with you, my brother?
Work, brother.
I heard that. I got a ton of work coming up this week. We got I got about 10 extra hours this weekend. I got I might be working tomorrow as well because of Juneteenth.
Busy man.
All that stuff. So yeah, that'll end up with like probably 60 plus hours this week.
Hey, leg kick.
What's up, leg kick? Appreciate you being here, man. How you doing today? I'm just now tweeting everything out so they know that we're going live here.
We're running.
I'm running, Jenny. Dude, I actually watched the movie this week.
Oh my God, Rob watched the movie.
Well, I mean, I haven't gone to the movies or done anything forever, man. I watched that movie Sinners. It actually ended up being pretty good. I know that the guy who made it and everything's like, there's all these social ideas and that. I'm like, dude, it just looked like a vampire movie to me. So it was pretty cool. It was an interesting movie.
Yeah, we do an impromptu Russell Council this week there, Mr. Leg Kick.
Yeah. Because we canceled yesterday, we decided, we'll just do a chill stream. Basically, we're gonna talk about a little bit of wrestling, but we'll talk about anything you want. Like, what's on your mind, brother?
Oh, we got a joiner.
Oh shit,
he's
Sam
here.
Saudi. Oh yeah, man. Boy, that was a friggin' topic this week. What's up, man? poor Paul, man. He's like, I gotta head off all of this crap.
Good to see you there, little Johnny. Haven't had you in a while.
It's been a minute.
It has been a minute.
Been rough.
I have not seen Ballerina Leg Kick. It looks really good. I did see MI 7 or 8 or whatever one is.
Oh,
Final
the
Reckoning.
Part? That's part 2 to the last one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard it wasn't as good.
Wasn't bad. I mean, could have been better, but
I mean, they can't all be winners.
They can't. Good way to wrap it up and end it all, which is good. I mean, Tom Cruise in his 60s, I can't see him doing that.
Yeah, I mean, good Lord, man. Amazing last this long. This weekend at the local con, Big Show, Jericho, and Bret Hart will be there. Cool. Get some pictures, man.
Yeah, and I was shocked yesterday when I'm sitting at home relaxing and found out that Anne Burrell passed away.
Yeah, I saw that, dude.
55 years old.
My sister really likes her. She's like a big fan of hers. But what the hell is this? But yeah, she was like, she's like, what do you think about this? And I was like, who? I don't know who that is. At first, but then after a minute, I was like, oh, okay, I know who that is now. So, but I mean, it's depending on what happened and what caused it, you never know, man.
Got that right.
You never know, but brother,
never,
you never
know.
Tomorrow is not promised.
Nope.
But so what do you think about that whole situation with Saudi with CM Saudi? Johnny, since he's your boy.
There's no way for him to show up there and not look like a hypocrite.
No, I mean, after what he said to Miz, and I know that like when he first, as soon as he got back to WWE, one of the first things he did was he went there to like quash that with him.
No, he did that before he got to WWE. Actually,
Well, I thought he.
No,
like, that was
it was
like
when he
part of
first.
the-
No, it was when he first got suspended and he showed up at Raw and Vince told him to go away because he was still under contract with Tony.
Oh, okay. So basically, he knew he was going to
Yeah,
try to
he saw
leave.
he saw Miz there. He saw Miz there.
Yeah, okay. But I know that like that was one of the things that he went ahead and tried to quash that. And which hey, if you're gonna be working with somebody, I don't know why you didn't try to quash the shit that was going on in AEW, but whatever. But
it wasn't him who canceled the meeting.
No, it wasn't. But I mean, honestly, I think after he was in AEW for a little bit, he realized, you know what, I don't want to be here. I want to go back to WWE. I think the writing was on the wall from the start. But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of hard. You can't really say something like that and then a couple of years later be like, I'm gonna be in the main event of the Saudi show.
Yeah.
So, but honestly, I don't think he cares. I don't think he gives a crap. So it's gonna be what it's gonna be. I still like Punk. I think he's a great performer. But yeah, he is. We said it before, man. When he went back to WWE, first, I said, is he a hypocrite? Yes, he is.
Yep.
Is it going to be entertaining as hell? Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
So
I still prefer to see him 10 times in Saudi than one time against Logan Paul. Just so everybody.
Yeah. I mean, I get the situation with Logan Paul. Every time I think that guy is turning a point where I'm like, okay, because it's like it's clear he's more concerned about his image than his brother. And I do think that he's trying a little bit harder to not be such a douche as his brother.
He's trying harder. He's trying harder to hide it, not to be one.
It's just like I tried watching that podcast he does. Was it Impulsive? I tried watching that once and I was like, yeah, I don't want to watch this anymore. Yeah. It's basically just them. They bring on somebody really cool and interesting to talk to, and then they just act like complete knobs. So it is what it is. But no, it'll be a good show. And honestly, I think Punk versus Cena is the match to go with. If we're being completely honest, it's going to be far more interesting than the rest of the stuff that he's been doing so far. So this year with Cena, but
are we doing a GBU or no?
You can if you want. I didn't prepare one.
Cool.
You want to start it off?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if we were or not.
You tell me, man. Yeah, screw it. It's looping. Sorry. Good, the bad, and the ugly. What you got, brother?
The good. Jey Uso is no longer our Raw champion. For those People losing their mind a couple weeks ago over Jey Uso losing to Gunther. Oh my God, sky's falling. That wasn't, I never bought into Jey Uso as being champion. That's just personally. I mean, tag team champion, IC, US, cool. I just never bought the Yeet
The yeet
movement.
You're not into the yeet movement.
I'm not a Pat McAfee jump on the desk shouting yeet, throwing my hands up and down in the air.
What'd you say, Johnny?
You two are just old, man.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
Sure.
This not for me. But I just don't think Jey Uso as champion was moving the needle on that title. You need to put some prestige on it, like Rollins and Gunther have, and need to make it more of a relevant title. They need to stop putting Cody Rhodes on Raw, leave him on SmackDown, or switch him and switch the titles. If you're gonna want to keep Cody on Raw, that's fine. Put him on Netflix, whatever. But then switch to champions like they've done in the past.
Yeah,
I don't care. But I didn't buy into the Jey Uso yeet, and I'm happy with him being champion. I'm also happy that they're going to fuse the Continental and the what's the other one they're fusing in AEW?
The international
title, and the Continental into a new supposed to be, from what I read, is going to be the number 2 title in the company.
Yeah,
elevate it.
They're basically, and to be fair, the international title, that's what the international title was supposed to be. It was supposed to be the number 2 belt in the company. It's supposed to be their version of the Intercontinental Championship. And my understanding is they're going to try to have that belt be the premier belt for Collision.
Yeah. Because right now you haven't seen the world title belt in how many months, with it being in a suitcase or briefcase?
God.
Briefcase.
So stupid. This is one of the worst.
Oh,
no. One of Tony Khan's worst ideas.
Darby's on his way back. He's gonna win it. Don't worry.
I don't think he is, dude. I really don't think he is. I think he's going to come back, and he's probably going to be the big match going in towards the end of the year. I don't think he's going to win. I think the plan is for Moxley to hold that belt for like a year.
To me, putting the title on Darby Allin is not as bad as putting the title belt in WCW on Arquette, but
I say I'm kind of in the same mindset of Darby Allin being world champion as I was about Jey Uso.
If you want to put the secondary belt in AEW on Darby Allin eventually, I don't have a problem with that, but not world champion.
I'll be honest with you. I don't even want to see him take the unified title. I think what they've done, and we've talked about this before, they need to introduce a juniors or a middleweight title, like a cruiserweight kind of. I don't want to call it the cruiserweight because everybody calls it the cruiserweight title. Right. Call it the middleweight title. Call it the juniors world championship for guys that are 200 pounds and less, smaller guys, and have that be your. And have him dominate that division, because I just don't buy him as the world champion.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't buy it either.
But
really don't. My bad is CM Punk against John Cena and Goldberg against Gunther.
Oldberg.
Why? Punk has lost 4 of his last 5 matches. Goldberg automatically gets a world title shot, and he's been out for how long?
It's dude. It's
Neither one of them deserves a title shot. Punk needs to earn it, not be handed it to him on a silver platter.
You think that they should do something where, like, basically he makes Punk run the gauntlet,
Something.
and then when he does, then they meet up at the end of the year.
If you want Punk versus Cena, fine. I have no problem with that match whatsoever. But build a storyline to it. Don't just, Punk walks out and he automatically gets a title shot. Goldberg walks out and he automatically gets a title shot.
I mean, I get what
I
you're
was
saying.
I was out of the loop. I saw a picture of Goldberg, and I started questioning if like Vince was back with the pen.
It
was very strange.
I totally understand why they're doing Goldberg. They saw how popular Sting's retirement match was, which if you go back to the beginning of last year, Sting's retirement match was probably the one of the only things that worked in AEW.
Goldberg's retirement match. So is he going to win the title and then forfeit it? No. Goldberg versus Undertaker should be enough of a deterrent to have him in that ring again.
Dude, yeah, but the Saudi Prince's money it's enough of an attraction to have
that's
him
what
there.
it is.
No. Goldberg versus Gunther is on Saturday night's main event. It has nothing to do with the Saudi.
Is it? Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Saturday night's main event.
So you can have it's in his hometown.
So you can have 20 commercials during the main event. Like last time Saturday night's main event, WWE got ripped apart for how many commercials they had on that.
It was pretty awful.
I didn't know that, but now it makes even less sense.
Oh yeah, it's and as soon as he said it was going to be in front of his hometown, I was like, well, then now this is completely stupid. This is him trying to. They're trying to pull a Sting, but I honestly think they realize that this match is not going to be good enough to be on a pay-per-view because, dude, from what I understand, man, he's been having a lot of problems lately. A lot of like physical problems. I mean, the guy's almost 60, and he's beat to shit. And I don't know if you noticed the way he looked like he was about to drop dead when he just walk into the ring.
Yeah, and you don't need a Ultimate Warrior issue with Goldberg coming out to that ring, like when Warrior came out the day after the Hall of Fame ceremony, and that night, he was gone.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I mean, I don't think he looks that bad.
No,
he didn't look great.
I'm afraid of him lifting up Gunther in the jackhammer.
I'm really concerned about that.
Again, he had a hard time with Undertaker in Saudi.
You know, dude, he came within a hair of putting Undertaker on the shelf forever.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, there's that. The first challenge is not getting himself knocked out, but like beating his head against the door or something.
Yeah, he ain't gonna be doing that anymore. But
leg kick. I would love to have Braun Breaker as world champion. Love it.
Oh, that's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen soon.
Yeah.
No, it might have happened this year, but it's gonna. I can see him being in a match at WrestleMania
next year.
Yeah,
I really do think that like everything moves in cycles, right?
Because I can see him winning the Royal Rumble next year.
Yeah, I can. But everything moves in cycles, and right now, who are the top guys in WWE right now? Roman is still a top guy, even though he's part-time now. He's basically taken over the role that Cena used to have. for like the last 5 or 6 years before Cena retired. He's in that Cena role now, but he's but he's still a top guy. Then there's Cody, Seth.
Jay.
I don't think Jay. I really don't think. I think Jay's one of those guys that's going to satellite.
You think
like-
Gunther's up there?
I think Gunther could be there, but I don't think the way that they're booking Gunther, I don't think that he's going to be. But I think right now the top guys in that company are Cody, Seth,
Rollins.
Um,
Reigns.
Roman, and Punk. Those are the 4 top guys right now. But if you look at building towards the next decade, Punk's not going to be there. I think Punk's got maybe another 2 or 3 years, and then he's done. He'll be doing something in the back.
Did you see that, Johnny? He said 4.
It's been a minute since that too.
Shut the fuck up. So who are the guys that they're going to start building to take over the next generation?
Braun.
I think Cody's still going to be there. I think Seth is still going to be there. I think Braun Breaker is another guy. And I think shit. Oh, damn it.
I hate to say it, but I think Logan Paul, you got to put him up there.
Yeah.
I have faith he's gonna do something very stupid, and they're not gonna want anything to do with it.
I know, but I hate to say it because of how much they push him with Prime and all other stuff that you have to include Logan Paul in that.
I think Dominic Mysterio is going to be another guy. I mean, Dominic in a weird way, Dominic kind of falls into that category that Punk did. Punk was never the best wrestler in the ring. He was adequate. He's not the most athletic guy in the ring. But he's good enough. Where he excels at is storytelling and presence. And I think as time has gone on, I think Dom's going to develop into that kind of person.
And
then another guy that I think is going to come busting out at some point is Jacob Fatu.
I was going to say the best Samoan in the company right now.
Yup. Most talented guy in that whole family.
Yep.
I think that's going to be your core going forward. Those 4 guys. And then everybody else. And like I said, like you said, like Gunther, I think is going to be one of those guys that's going to satellite around there. I just don't think that they quite understand the best way to book him. They were doing a great job when he was the IC champion, but as soon as he became the world champion, it's like they forgot who he was.
Yeah. And then, go ahead.
But I think, I think guys like a couple of younger guys that are coming up out of like NXT, like Damian Priest. He'll be another one of those guys that kind of satellites around there, but he won't be quite in that mix. And another guy that I think is going to be like that, unfortunately, because I do think that he could be a top guy, but they're just not using him that way. It's Drew McIntyre. I think Drew McIntyre could definitely be a top guy, but I don't think that they're going to. Just like with Gunther, I don't think they're going to put them in there in that core because I don't think they quite fit the WWE brand the way that they want them to.
And then my ugly is the curse of the women's tag team titles has struck again.
Good God.
With Liv Morgan out several months.
Yep.
To half a year with a dislocated shoulder or whatever she had going on.
Yep.
Hello, Matosito. What's up?
What's up, my brother? Hope you're safe, man. If you're driving, be careful.
Yeah. But how many times has one or both of the female wrestlers with the tag titles been hurt?
Oh yeah, dude. It's unfortunate, but it's true.
I would be like, you want to make me the women's tag champion? Nope. Nope.
Quit. I'm out.
I am done.
Yeah.
Zoe Stark a few weeks ago, and now you have Liv Morgan out. Zoe Stark obviously is going to be out a lot longer than Liv because you're talking knee versus shoulder. This guy here has dislocated left shoulder 3 times, right shoulder twice.
Yeah.
I know the pain. I know the recovery, the therapy, all that stuff you got to do. And I'm just a normal person driving a work truck right now. All right, be careful with that work truck. But just to get back into wrestling shape after dislocating it, depending on how bad it was, that's going to be a while.
Yeah.
Because of the severity. I mean, when I dislocated my shoulder the first time, it was so bad. The doctor said if it continued to be a problem, they would have to cut me open, and I would be in one of those casts with the bar for a couple months.
Yeah.
Because they'd have to go into my shoulder and just tighten everything up. So hopefully that's not an issue with Liv, but we'll see.
Yeah. And then there was another injury that was his name, Elijah, formerly known as Elias.
Walk with Elias.
He was wrestling on NXT, and he apparently hurt his arm. So they think he might have a torn bicep, something like that. But yeah, it sucks. It's unfortunate. Okay, my good. Come on, guys. You know me. It's New Japan. Come on.
When is it not New Japan?
Come on. The G1 Climax. Greatest tournament in professional wrestling. They announced the blocks for this year. A block, Hiroki Goto, the current champion. I still think the current champion should not be allowed to participate in the G1 because the prize for the G1 is a contract to wrestle for the world title. So unless he's going to drop that belt between now and then, I just don't think it's a good idea. Bolton Oleg is a new young guy. I really like him. Good. Yuya Yamura, Yota Tsuji, David Finlay. Fit Finlay, son. He likes to fight.
Yeah. Is he Hornswoggle's stepbrother?
Apparently. Evil, Sonata, and Hiroshi Tanahashi, another guy that's retiring this year. And then there will be 2 lay-in winners. They're trying to do like a little bit of a surprise thing, and they're going to have 2 surprise entries. That's A Block, B Block, El Fantasma, Shota Umino. That's a dude that I think is going to end up in AEW eventually. He's kind of like a protege to Will Ospreay and Jon Moxley. So Shingo Takagi, always awesome. Zack Sabre Jr., that's my boy. Great O'Khan, Gabe Kidd, like Gabe Kidd. There's another dude that New Japan needs to build around to get themselves back to where they were. Ren Narita and Konosuke Takeshita, who has been awesome, make up B Block. So, yeah, not quite as much star power as they've had in years in the past. But that's kind of been the way it's been for the last couple of years. But still, it's still the best tournament in professional wrestling. So,
yes,
I'm excited about that. So, that's my good. My bad is all them injuries, man.
They add up.
All them injuries, baby. Yeah, unfortunately, Liv Morgan, she's out for, they believe, I think it was 4 to 6 months. Elijah, he's out for, if he does have a torn bicep, he's going to be out for a while. Yeah. And then there was another injury, and I'm trying to remember who it was. I don't think it was really bad. I think they just got their bell rung. Oh yeah, and that was another piece of good news is Hikuleo finally makes his WWE debut on Main Event. Johnny said I had to have tech difficulties so people know that it's still the same show. No problem, dude. If you can make it back, actually I think it was. I think Jamie Hayter got her bell wrong, and but I do think she's okay. But yeah, injuries suck, man.
Yeah, they do.
And you never want to see that happen, especially when someone with their careers are really starting to pop, and they get basically taken out. So also the Undertaker underwent heart surgery in April. And I'm trying to think, it was a chronic AFib, which is something that my dad actually has. He's all good now. But good luck to him. Father Time is undefeated, man. Gabe Kidd is very stiff in his. Yeah, he's another one of those hard hitting, hard punching dudes, man. I like Gabe Kidd. I like Gabe Kidd when he was a young lion. But and then my bad is the Usos' daddy, Rikishi, having a freaking meltdown on social media, demanding the firing of the writing staff who decided that his son should drop the world title. Look, man, I get it's your son. He's their daddy. He's going to be supporting them no matter what. Love the dude. I said it when this whole Yeet movement thing started. This thing is not going to have legs.
No.
He's popular. He's selling merch right now. But from an in-ring product standpoint, it has not been great. And that's kind of where I make my criteria. And I think that's where a lot of people have their criteria. And there were other reasons why they took that belt off of him. And here's the thing. Big Daddy actually did a really good job of illustrating this. If you go on Big Daddy's YouTube, on his YouTube, but his Twitter thread, he basically ran through probably like 20 or 30 different incidences of people who had reigns, because I think Jay's reign was 58 days, was just short of 2 months.
Yeah.
He went through just tons of different wrestlers, a lot of big name wrestlers who had reigns that were 58 days or less. You know, like I'm looking at some right now, like the Iron Sheik's first reign was 28 days. Ivan Koloff, 21 days. Andre the Giant had it for a day. Okay. Bob Backlund, 3 days. Yokozuna, 1 day. Hogan's fourth championship, he had it for a day. Undertaker's first one was 6 days.
How long was Drew McIntyre's second?
Yeah, like a minute and a half. You know, Kane's first reign was a day. Shawn Michaels' second reign was less than a month. Brett's fourth was a day. Mankind's third was a day. Mankind's second was 15 days. Almost all of Mankind's were less than a month. His first one was 20 days. His second was 15 days, and his third was 1 day. So, like, I don't want to hear this BS. Okay, he had it for 2 months. It's not like they're kicking him to the curb. They had their reasons for doing it. Now, I personally think some of the reasoning is stupid, but they do have reasonings for it. They did. It's going to be like we all know, it's going to be Goldberg versus Gunther, and the whole idea behind it is they wanted him to be fighting a heel. That's why they took it off of Jay. They took it off. So you want to blame someone, blame Goldberg. But this idea that it was racism or bias for them taking the belt on, that's freaking stupid. That's freaking stupid. They've done this. They do this a lot. Yeah, Ray. I think one of Ray's was just it was like less than 15 minutes. So just stop.
Okay.
Just stop. It's stupid.
Yeah. Chill out.
You're being overly dramatic and pedantic. Calm your ass down. Go have a Coca smile and shut the hell up. So that's my GBU. Oldberg, yeah, that's what everybody's going. Now let me ask you. Maybe I was just seeing. Maybe it was just from my perspective. Maybe it was just me. Goldberg did not look great coming out, did he?
No, he did not at all.
Okay, he really looked winded coming out, like walking down to the ring. And I know that there have been multiple reports where they were talking to him, and like he's been having a lot of trouble getting himself back into ring shape. But again, the guy he's 58?
I believe so.
Yeah, Bill Goldberg. Come on. Why is my internet like taking the crap on me?
I don't know, sir.
I don't either. Bill Goldberg. There he is. I don't know. Yeah, he's 58 years old, dude. He's gonna be 60 in 2 years. All right. Even when Sting was wrestling, Sting was, I think, 63 when he retired. Pro wrestler. Give me a look. Copy. Stop. Dude, is it just me, or is Google having some serious problems?
I think it's you.
I think someone said that Google was having like a major. Okay, Sting was 64 when he retired last year. Because he retired right before his birthday. So technically, I think you could say he was actually 65 because he's 66 now. And they did a lot to basically protect him in that match and make him look good, and let him have his moment and let him have his spots in his moment. I don't think you can do that with Goldberg in a one-on-one. Now, you're putting him in there with one of the best in there today. You're putting him in there with Gunther, and Gunther will make sure that he's okay to the best of his ability.
Yeah.
He'll be like Vern Gagne. Oh my God, dude. The one thing I will say is it won't be as bad as Ric Flair's last match. Because I don't think there's anything that could possibly be as bad as Ric Flair's last match. I've never in my life legitimately been afraid that the guy was going to die in the ring while I was watching. That's how I felt watching Rick. That being said, I don't give them crap for wanting to give the guy his flowers. And I know, and like I said, last year Sting's what the hell?
I don't know.
Sting's retirement match was pretty much the biggest thing that happened in AEW, and it was one of the biggest events of the year.
Yep.
So I don't if you've got someone that's capable of doing that, which last match? I was talking about Ric Flair's last match, like his real legitimate last match. Well, that's the thing. Goldberg's never had stamina. He's never been a big
No.
I don't think the guy's ever. I think the guy may have had. I could probably count on one hand the number of matches he had that went past 20 minutes. Okay, and I guarantee you, every one of them involved at least one extra person, so that he could have time to get a breather on the outside.
Yeah.
So
He's not a long man. He's never going to do an Iron Man match.
No. If his matches go past 10 minutes, that's a minor miracle. And I can't see that happening here at all. Unless they plan out everything to the point where they just have Gunther basically putting him in a lot of holds for half the match. Let me ask you this. Do you have him win on his way out?
Who? Goldberg?
Yes.
Hell no.
Do you think WWE are going to have him win on his way out?
Well, if he wins, I think it's too soon for it. But if he's going to win and beat beat Gunther, then I would have Rollins come out, cash in, and pin Goldberg.
He retires the legend.
Seth Rollins cashes in. Goldberg wins. Seth Rollins comes out, cashes in, pins Goldberg. Now Rollins is the new champion. That's the only way I want Goldberg to win the title.
Okay, if you do something like that, do you think that damages Gunther?
No.
You think that protects him? Or do you think it's just a wash?
I think it's just a wash.
Okay. I mean, I could see something like that. I think it's a little on the cheap end.
It is, but to put the belt on Goldberg, you've already got the other world title on a guy who's retiring, and this is his last year with Cena. You don't want to put both titles on guys who are retiring.
Got both guys that are on their way out.
Yeah.
Everything you're saying makes sense, which is why I think they're going to do the exact opposite. I really do. I'm serious, man. I really do think they're going to have Goldberg win this friggin' belt. Just so they can put his name on the pedigree of the belt, which I don't think it matters. 2, to put him over on his way out and try to turn it into an event, kind of like they did with Sting. Because let's be honest, man, you think about everything that AEW did last year. Outside of Hangman Swerve, Sting's retirement match was the best thing in the entire company all year. Hands down, bar none. It was the biggest, most important thing that they did last year, which tells you just how bad things were last year. I really do think that WWE treat that particular belt like it is, it's the consolation prize. I really do think that that's the way they treat that belt. It's unfortunate. I think if you let Gunther hold on to that, if you booked him like you did when he was the Intercontinental Champion, and you let him run roughshod of everybody for like 8 to 10 months, he could really have added some legitimacy to that belt. They didn't do that. First of all, they tried to turn him into a tweener, which was the dumbest thing you could possibly have done. Then they have this lackluster program with him and Jay. Then they put the belt on Jay, and Jay's booking was lackluster.
Yeah. Yep.
There wouldn't be any other reason for him to return. Bob Goldberg wins, and then we'll lose it quickly, probably hold it for a week at most. I can see, let me put it this way. If you're going to do that, what Frank just said, I think is the perfect way to do it. What you have Seth Rollins come down after the match is over. First, you have Breaker and Bronson bust up in that ring and just start wailing the crap out of him, softening him up, beating him down, basically trying to protect him in what is the coming loss. Now, I'm just upset that W hasn't put out a Goldberg retro tee with your last on it instead of next on it. Pure Goldberg. Yep. And I get the pun, man. It's
You're fired.
I just don't have enough faith in WWE as a product right now for them to do that. I think WWE's operation manual, like right now, is drag things out as long as they possibly can.
Yep.
And I get the feeling that that's what they're going to do with this. They're going to try and drag this thing out with Goldberg a month or two, and they might push it to a pay-per-view, and then have Seth or maybe Gunther comes back out and takes it from him again. You can't fire me. I'm a volunteer. Shut up. I can fire whoever I want. You're fired, and that you're a volunteer. I hope I'm wrong. Like I really.
So do I.
Do you think I'm wrong though?
Yes.
You do? You have faith in them to pull the trigger and do the right thing.
Yes.
Okay. I hope you're right. I really do. I would very much like to be wrong about this. I don't think I am.
If it was a pay-per-view, then I might be a little bit more skeptical, but as that they haven't changed any titles on Saturday Night's Main Event.
It's first time for everything, man.
There is.
But we'll see. And I'll tell you what, if they're actually having a title, I'm not saying this title because I really don't think they should. But having a title change hands on a televised show like Main Event, I think is a good idea for your booking going forward, because then you can basically get people thinking, well, the chances of it happening are still pretty slim, but maybe.
No, they just did it with the world title on Raw with Uso and Gunther.
Yeah. Well, it's about the percentages. You usually are wrong. I am not. I actually looked at my win-loss ratio, and I'm actually like about 70-30. The thing is that when I'm wrong big. So that's why it seems like I'm wrong with that. When I'm wrong, I'm usually wrong really big. But yeah, I'd be perfectly fine being wrong about this. I just don't know what this does for Gunther.
All right. So with that being said, still with the world title picture, what are your thoughts on the final four for the King and Queen of the Ring?
Let me see here. King of the Ring.
On the one side, it's Uso versus Rhodes.
Okay.
And the other side, it's Sami Zayn versus who won the other one?
It's Zayn versus Orton.
That's right, Orton.
I think it's going to come down to Cody versus Randy. That's what I think it's going to be. I think Orton is going to beat Sami. I think, well, because here's the thing.
I know a lot of people on the Sami for the world title shot.
I agree. I agree. And I would like, Sami Zayn is one of those guys that I feel could be a lot bigger than they actually let him be. And if they're going to do that, then I would do Sami versus Jay. That's the match that I would make. I think, however, it's going to be Orton versus Cody. I think it's going to be Randy versus Cody. And I think Randy is going to win. I really do. I think Randy's going to win.
And to put Randy again with a title shot,
Yep,
they already just did that.
I know. I'm thinking about this from the perspective of this is John's last year. Who are they really going to put him in the ring with? And I think the people they're going to put him in the ring with are people that are big parts of his life. And I think the last two big pieces of that are going to be CM Punk and Randy. I think the situation with Randy is going to get dragged out. Randy's going to be the last person that he's going to be the last chance to take that belt off him, and Randy's going to pull it out. I also think I'm going to take a big swing here. So if I'm going to be wrong, this is probably going to be it. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
I think by the time they get to Randy versus John at the end of the year, they're going to switch places, and John's going to be a face again, and Randy is going to go heel. Because I think what they're going to build to, or at the very least, they're going to start sowing the seeds of that. Like they're going to have John hesitate in the ring, like he doesn't want to do it. And that's how Randy's going to strike like the Viper, and he's going to win. And I think because I think what they're going to build towards for WrestleMania next year is Cody versus Randy. And I don't think and although I think they should, because I think he's an amazing heel, I don't think they're going to turn Cody heel. I think they teased it a little bit, but they're not going to do it. They're not going to turn Cody heel. And it's going to be Cody versus Randy at WrestleMania next year. I think that's the long-term plan. Could I be wrong? If I'm going to be wrong, it's probably about this.
Yeah. I'm going to go Zayn versus Uso in the finals.
Okay, I can see that. Now, if I were booking this, me personally, myself, that's the match that I would make. Because that's a match that's years in the making.
Yeah.
But my call, I think King of the Ring is going to come down to Cody versus Randy. For the women, you got Roxanne Perez versus Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill's going to win because they're setting up. They're gonna set up something with her, and they're gonna set up something with her and
Naomi.
Naomi, yeah. Queen of the Ring, the Alexa Bliss versus Asuka. I think it's going to be Asuka. I don't think you bring back Asuka to have her lose. But I think it's going to come down to Jade Cargill versus Asuka. And I think Naomi's going to come out and she's going to cost Jade the match, and Asuka's going to win. She's going to be the Queen of the Ring. I think that's how it's going to play out. What do you think?
I think Naomi is going to cost Cargill the match against Perez. And it's going to be Perez in the finals.
Okay. You think it's going to be Roxanne Perez versus Asuka? Or is it going to be Alexa?
Perez versus wow.
Because Alexa just came back too.
She did. I think it's Perez versus Asuka, and Perez takes it.
Oh, you think they're going to use this to elevate Perez?
Yeah.
Okay. I could see it. But yeah, all right. So I'm saying it's going to be Orton. I'd like it to be Sammy, but I think it's going to be Orton, and I think it's going to be Asuka. You think it's going to be Perez?
Sammy and Roxanne.
Sammy and Roxanne? Okay. Yeah. We'll see. Should be interesting.
It should be.
What was it? What was the other big story in pro wrestling? The news. Oh, what do you think about this this split with Warner Brothers Discovery? You think that's going to affect AEW?
The what now?
This the split, the Warner Brothers Discovery split.
I missed
They're
out
basically
on that.
splitting it into two different entities. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think Perez. Sorry, I think Perez versus Asuka would be the better match, or Alexa would be the better match. But I just think you bring Asuka back, like you said. I don't think she just comes back, wins one match, and loses again.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Styles for those two would mix well. Yeah, NWA and Roku deal. Yeah, I saw that. Then NWA. I know. Tony's not. He's not going to say it's going to affect them. I know that he came out and said that he has a good relationship with both entities, and I do know that the way the split's going to work is they're splitting off their cable channels, while their film studio and Max and other properties are going to split into the other. Given the deal that AEW just signed, I don't think for the next 3 years at least, I don't think they need to worry. Or the next 4 years, I don't think they need to worry. I think they need to worry about what's going to happen after that. And if the split is the way that they're saying it is, I don't think they need to worry about losing their TV contract. What might change is them being on Max. That might be the thing that changes. We'll see.
Yeah.
In the short term, though, I don't think it's going to affect them at all. So that was another big piece of news. I'm trying to see. Damn it.
Mercedes has a new boy toy.
Oh yeah, Beast Mortos,
Yeah.
who just became a freaking lawyer. It's like, all right, somebody's making sure that they're going to be secure after their career is over. So, I'll tell you what though, I will say this: like, if you had told me there's a match being made up between people, I would not have picked that one. I would not have said that was a relationship that could start at any point in time in history, but it is what it is. Love is blind.
There it is.
I'm trying to see here. Vince McMahon attempted to purchase Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Really? Do you think did you think he's really trying to get back into the wrestling business? Or he's just trying to find something that flexes influence?
He's just trying to find something to stoke his ego.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think he should just take the money and shut up.
He should.
Just go live your life, bro.
He's bored because he doesn't have WWE anymore, so he needs something to keep him active, keep the genetic jackhammer out there and active.
Jeez. My God. The genetic jackhammer. My God. Oh man, what a world.
Of course.
What a world.
I think regardless of whether it's Cody or Jay, I think that's probably the best one-on-one matchup in this tournament. It could be even better than the finals. As long as they let the guys wrestle and there's no outside interference.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But all right, guys, we hit an hour. Like I said, I apologize for not doing a stream yesterday. Appreciate everybody hanging out. But yeah, we there's a lot going on. What's up?
In 5 days.
5 times.
This man over here, his birthday, in 5 days.
Ah,
June
Ah,
23rd. This man over here.
dust. Turning to dust as we speak. Ah, are you my son? Where am I? 53 years old, man. Like, man, like talking to the kids, like, oh my God, you're old. But
Happy
Yeah,
early
appreciate it.
birthday. Happy early birthday, Bob.
yeah, appreciate it. Hey, any day above.
Oh,
Ah, you damn kids stole all my candy. All right, guys. Appreciate you being here. Yep, be safe, guys. It's a crazy world. A lot of crazy stuff going on. You know,
yeah, and be careful with that company truck, Mr. Maldacito.
yeah, dude. Be safe going home, man. We don't want anything to happen to you. But appreciate you guys. And we will catch you guys next week. Bye.